What's good, y'all? It's time to talk about the big commitment of the day. Ryan Mosley. I know South Carolina fans is sick. Look, I ain't no Georgia fan, ain't no South Carolina fan, ain't no Tennessee fan. I just covered him. But this is big news, bro, because he was trending towards South Carolina for a long time. But today, Ryan Mosley decided to stay in state and go to Georgia. Right? Now, remember, Georgia got a couple guys that they're targeting, right? Kayvon Contreras is another one. Big body receiver, kind of the same type of build, right? 6'3", 205. That's what Contreras has obviously grown into. This is what Mosley is currently as constructed is right now, right? Big time yak guy. Comes up in the big games. We're going to talk about all that good stuff. But he commits to Georgia over South Carolina and some other high-end programs. Now, in terms of his rating, this is how it looks, y'all. Number 182 national recruit, according to 247 Sports Composite. Number 27 receiver. Number 23 in Georgia. Now, when I talked about his big game ability, what I'm talking about is go back to the state championship game. Now, they did lose to Grayson, but they've been to the championship twice already in, obviously, Ryan Mosley's career. Obviously, Juju Lewis had a lot to do with that. You know what I'm saying? He guiding them there. They lost to Mill Creek, obviously, a few years ago, and then they lost to Grayson. So two pretty much Gwinnett teams they lost to, obviously, in the state championship game. Other than that, they probably win it, right? But in that game, he pops off for 3 catches, 79 yards, and a touchdown, right? One of his biggest plays, he broke a big tackle and just obviously put on, the speed and the velocity, and it was up out of there. So that's why I said you get this big play guy that is dangerous in the open space, and that burst that he has is very underrated, right? And he's hard to bring down to the ground. So you couple all that together, he's one of those prospects that's super tough, and really, you think 4-star, really underrated because he's really a lot better than that. There was a game this past season. He popped off, y'all, 5 catches, 107 yards, and he had 3 touchdowns against Columbia. Had 2 games with over 100-plus yards receiving, obviously, for the Carrollton Trojans this past year, man. So he's not only like a 50-50 guy, but he's also, a deep play guy as well, man. So it's going to be interesting this year because the guy, obviously, a new quarterback at the helm. Mason Holtzclaw likely is going to be the starter there unless something happens with C.J. Cypher. We'll see. But nonetheless, man, I expect him to have another big role, right? This past year, 55 catches, 848 yards receiving, and 12 touchdowns for the Carrollton Trojans as the main receiver guy. So as you guys can see, he has that ability. Now, as y'all can see, Georgia continues to stack on and build elite classes. You go back to 2025, they're number 2 national according to 0-3, number 2 in the SEC, 93 overall rating. Even though it's still early in this cycle, they're already top 5 nationally, number 2 SEC, number 2 or 92.29 class so far. So we'll see how it continues to go. But let's break this down. Now, if you Georgia, you already got 3 receivers committed. You got Brady Marchese out of Cartersville, right? You also have Ryan Mosley, who committed today. You also got Van Spafford, obviously, out of California. So how many more receivers will Georgia take? That is the biggest question that remains for the Bulldogs. I could see them take potentially 1 more receiver, but it depends on what Kirby's looking for. Is he looking for a speedy slot guy, or is he going to be looking for a big play down the field guy similar to a Ryan Mosley type of a build, 50-50 guy? Because they already have an elite 2025 class that's coming in, right? Now, he's added, obviously, with Noah Thomas, Zachariah Branch, but you look at C.J. Wiley, right? You look at some of those pieces they got out of the 2025 class coming in with Taylor as well. They got some dudes in that class, right? That's really, really special. Rodon is another one, speedy guy. Probably will play a lot out of the slot, kind of, immersed in that, Lad McConkey type of a role. So it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to do there if they add another receiver, right? If anything changes, because, OVs, a lot of things can be swayed. But interesting to see what Georgia does there. But already 3 receivers right now in the top 5 class nationally. That's getting it done. But I want to hear from South Carolina fans. How do y'all feel about Georgia obviously landing a major target for you? Obviously, South Carolina, that would have been a major get for them. Probably would have been a number 1 prospect in terms of the wide receiver spot coming into this 2026 class. But a major get for Georgia. You don't let them go anywhere else. You keep them home. That's how you do it. And they have obviously a history now of producing wide receiver at a alarming rate, right? You go back and look, you don't look this year. Go back and look, obviously, a few years ago with A.J. Green. George Pickens, who I know obviously is going to be on his next NFL team with the Cowboys. But they produce this position at a pretty good rate, and guys that can produce on the next level in the NFL. So if you're a recruit, that's what you want to see. So obviously a really great recruiting job from Georgia. And the rich get richer. They add another elite guy. But comment down below your thoughts on Georgia landing this 4-star prospect.